The evolution of sewing from hand stitches to 2025. 30,000 BCE. The earliest evidence of sewing dates back to prehistoric times, when early humans used animal bones as needles and sinuous thread. Sewing was used to stitch together animal hides for clothing and protection. Back then, sewing was a matter of survival. As time passed, hand sewing evolved. People began crafting metal needles and using threads made from plant fibers and cotton. This marked the true beginning of hand sewing. Stitching fabric by hand with needle and thread, it was used not only for making clothes, but also for mending embroidery and expressing culture and identity. 1755. The first patent for a sewing machine design was granted to Charles Frederick Wiesenthal, although it wasn't fully developed. 1790, Thomas Saint, an English inventor, created a design for a sewing machine with a mechanism resembling modern-day sewing, but it remained an idea. 1846, a major leap happened when Elias Howe invented a functional sewing machine using the lock stitch technique. It was faster, more consistent, and more efficient than hand sewing. 1851. Soon after, Isaac Singer introduced a commercial sewing machine. Sewing machines began to enter homes and factories, and the craft of sewing began to industrialize. Late 1800s, the early 1900s. During the Industrial Revolution, the production of garments skyrocketed. Large garment factories were built across Europe and America. Sewing shifted from being a household skill to a global industry. 1940s, 1950s. After World War II, mass production of clothing spread across Asia. In the Philippines, the garment industry grew rapidly, employing thousands of women as factory sewers. 1970s. Portable home sewing machines became more common. Cut-and-sew home businesses started to thrive. With just one machine, a few yards of fabric creativity, many turned sewing into a source of income. 1990s home sewing expanded even more. Pattern books, fashion magazines, and TV tutorials made sewing more accessible. Sewing was not only a skill, it became a form of creative expression. 2000 sewing became more popular with the rise of the fashion industry. More people pursued tailoring and dressmaking, and sewing was embraced by younger generations as both a hobby and a career path. 2010, 2019. Digital and computerized sewing machines emerged. At the same time, YouTube tutorials, sewing communities on Facebook, and online creators helped open up sewing to new learners. The craft became more global and inclusive. 2020 pandemic era. When the pandemic hit, sewing made a big comeback. Many Filipinos learned to sew face masks and BPEs, using sewing as a way to earn and serve. 2021 and 2023, the online market for handmade and custom-made items exploded, with platforms like Shopee, Lazada, TikTok, and Facebook. Home sewers built their own small brands from scratch. 2024, 2025. We're witnessing a new era. Sewing now blends traditional skills with modern technology. AI pattern generators, 3D garment previews, and mobile apps now support both beginners and experts. A sewing machine, a smartphone, and internet access are often enough to start your own brand. From bone needles used by early humans to our grandmother's hand stitching, to the AI-powered tools of 2025, sewing has never stopped evolving. It is art, it is livelihood, it is history. And as long as there are dreamers, we will continue to sew.